racing to the massive roar of the crowd. Lady of Camelot, a spectacular win in the Golden Slipper. Chain of Lightning, Bella Nipotina. Chain of Lightning's won the TJ. Bella Nipotina wins the Everest. A thriller there at the end.
With Tim Gilbert and Julie Snook, this is Racing Dreams.
And it is day 2 of the championships, of course, at Royal Randwick. Julie, for Group 1's huge day.
Oh, huge day of racing, Tim, and a gorgeous day here in Sydney as well. We couldn't ask for better conditions. And I don't think the Australian Turf Club or Racing New South Wales asked for better fields for today's racing either. It's going to be something pretty special out there at Royal Randwick. And, of course, something pretty special here for the next hour. We catch up with champion trainer Peter Snowden as his filly Memo eyes today's Percy Sykes.
Live to Team Haggis as Dubai Honour saddles up for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
And we hear from trainer Rob Archibald as he and Annabelle Neasham saddle up Amelia's Jewel in the Queen of the Turf in a rather busy autumn for that duo.
Yeah, they're getting married in a few weeks' time. Well, it is day 2 of the championships at Royal Randwick, and of course, a man that knows so much about it all is Shane O'Cass from the Daily Telegraph. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. I think they call it a promoter's dream in advertising, and that's what today is. You know, it's the day 2 of the championships. We're so lucky we kind of get 2 grand finals because last week was absolutely spectacular, but today, well, we get the pinnacle of racing and the pinnacle of the carnival, which is, of course, the Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
The grand finals of Australian racing. Well, let's talk about the Queen Elizabeth. William Haggis, he has broken our hearts in the past in this race. Can Dubai Honour do it again today?
Well, he's broken Chris Waller's heart a couple of times because he's had Adayeb, who beat Very Elegant, the subsequent horse of the year, twice, 2 years running, and nobody really saw that coming. But look, this year he's got to do something, I think, a mountain even taller. He's got to beat Via Sistina. And as good as Very Elegant was, Via Sistina is, dare I say it, Winx-like. I mean, she won a Cox Plate here in a record time by an enormous margin, and that was at 2,000 metres, 4th run in. And look, for the people out there who follow Chris Waller, they'll know that he's very good on grand final day. He sets his horses to the minute, Bart Cummings style, and he's got this horse absolutely in unbelievable order. And if she turns up at Randwick like she turned up at Moonee Valley, well, I don't think Dubai Honour's going to win.
Johnny McKeever is a name that people in the industry know well because he does buying for Gay and Adrian in the United Kingdom, predominantly around Newmarket. And Al Alakance was bought by Johnny. And what about the Sydney Cup?
Well, this horse has been an absolute revelation, and also credit to Gay Waterhouse again for her placement of this horse, because she's managed to get the $2 favourite just about into a Sydney Cup with a very light weight, and that could be crucial today because it's 2 miles, 3.2 kilometres. It's a long way to run for a horse, and a lot of them haven't run this far before. And what makes it more incredible about Alicante is that it leads the whole way. So, look, it's going to come down to how Tim Clark can manage this race. If he can get a few easy sectionals, then these horses behind him are going to have a real problem catching her, because she doesn't look like she stops. At the end of these 2,600 metre races, she's still going as strong as she was.
Go, isn't she?
Absolutely, and she's a great English bloodlines, as you touched on. Got the Gay Waterhouse sort of bone and muscle, and Tim Clark, he's probably the best front-running rider in the business.
We were talking earlier in the week, Shano, about the Oaks, and we're saying there's a bit of a Bledisloe Cup feel happening here.
Well, there is, because we've got the New Zealand Oaks winner, who's now trained by Chris Waller, like a Lucy, up against our Victorian Oaks winner, Treasure the Moment, both Yulong horses. Look, one of them, the top weight, or the number 1 horse, like a Lucy's won 7 from 8 and probably should have won the other start, so she should be unbeaten going into this. And the other filly, Treasure the Moment, has been unbeatable.
Treasure the Moment's real short.
Very short, very short. I suppose it's the devil you know kind of thing, Timmy. Like most of the people have seen her race in Victoria, and then they saw her in Sydney here the other day. She was so dominant. Look, both horses will stay. We know that. I mean, this could just be, a match race of pretty epic proportions, because I couldn't imagine anything outside of these 2 horses winning.
What about the Queen of the Turf?
Well, the Queen of the Turf, look, I think Fangirl's probably the most popular horse in Sydney. I honestly do.
Another short price.
A very short price. I mean, she'd been an apt winner of the Queen of the Turf. She really has been a great mare over so many seasons. She's very hard to beat at Randwick. She's very hard to beat over a mile. And J-Mac, he's had 10 rides on her for 6 wins and 4 placings, so he really understands her. I think she'll be incredibly hard to beat. But then, of course, we've got a Tissue who won this race 2 years ago, the stablemate. This will be her last start before she goes through a broodmare sale at the Gold Coast. So if you've got a couple of $1 million under the bed, you can go and have a bid on a Tissue. But you'll probably get your money back the way her foals would probably sell for $1 million each.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I take Timmy shopping. So Timmy's, you know.
Last time I checked, there's only dirty clothes under my bed. Interesting.
We're just watching the end of this race here now with her, but Timmy's been out and about this week doing a bit of shopping at the Inglis Easter yearling sales, I can only imagine. Someone else who was spotted there was J Mac. He's back in town.
He is back in town. Agonisingly close he was in Dubai to winning aboard a Romantic Warrior, probably second favourite horse, maybe even his favourite horse, I don't know. But look, he's got a great book of rides today. The punters absolutely love him. Apparently James McDonald drives turnover like no other jockey has in the past. People just will not bet against him, and you can see why. He's back here chasing the Group 1s. He's got great rides in all of them, bar the Sydney Cup. He's on 3 odds on favourites, and in other races too, he's on favourites as well. So J Mac, he is the ultimate punter's pal, and look, he's nothing short of an absolute champion. We'll be talking about him in 50. Yeah. They'll be talking about him in 50 years' time.
What are you implying there?
Yeah, well, let's not go that road because one of us is going to struggle. But anything at long odds?
Anything along? Look, I think there's a horse in the last. I shouldn't say it's long odds because it's not, but it's commemorative. It's a great way to wind out the carnival.
What kind of price?
Well, I don't like to say because it's pretty short. But if you want to go home a winner, I think you've got to bet commemorative in the last. It's James Cummings.
Well, you do need to say because you're actually on.
Okay, it's $2.50. But if you want a long shot, I will give you one Zardozi to win the Sydney Cup. Okay. It's about $10. So $10, Zardozi win the Sydney Cup.
And just quickly back on the jockeys theme, the internationals are out here today as well. We've got a lot of international riders and raiders. Dubai Honour will be crossing to the stables there a little later this morning, but it's just a great day.
It is a great day. Christophe Lemaire is here. He won a Melbourne Cup, and now he's trying to win the QE2. I mean, there are 2 Japanese horses that I haven't mentioned that are in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and if I've learned anything, it's never ride off a Japanese horse because we can never line up their form. It doesn't matter how clever you are, but their form over there seems to stack up really well in Australia. They're such clean-winded horses. They're so fit. They go fast, and they don't stop. So look, you'd think they'd have a trouble beating Via Sistina, but, as I say, they can do anything, these Japanese horses.
And I know there's been some good wins, but I always remember Oban Boomerai in that Eagle.
Absolutely, and they've Quinella to Melbourne Cup, they've won a Caulfield Cup, they can stay, they can sprint. They're really hard to read, but they're very, very good when it comes to big races.
I'm just glad I pronounced the horse right. Good to see you.
Likewise, have a great day.
All right, well, as we said, day 2 of the Champs at Royal Randwick today. 4 Group 1s, a huge day of racing here in Sydney.
One man who will be out there today, of course, is Shano's boss, Ray Thomas at the Daily Telegraph. Let me tell you what Ray doesn't know about this great sport is not worth knowing. I caught up with him at Rosehill not long after Dubai Honour won the Tancred, but we started our chat on another very, very exciting overseas star.
Kaying Rising, won a win, won a place. Drawn 6, they're set. Sprint Cup, racing. He was about midfield away, Kaying Rising, but he's drilling through the centre to go and look for the lead. Kaying Rising is 5 in front of Lucky With You and Helios Express. He's being eased down. Bring on the world next month. He's ready to take you on. Kaying Rising beat Helios Express and Lucky With You.
So, Ray, we talk 365 days a year right around the world about the Everest, and this year seems to be even more with Kaying Rising, this exciting horse out of Hong Kong.
Yeah, wasn't he outstanding last start in Hong Kong? The incredible part, Tim, he went 18.18 for 1,200 metres, and Zach Purton shut him down the last 200 metres. He's a freakish sprinter. He's won 11 in a row. He's been a dominant Everest favourite for some months now. An exciting racehorse.
And we've got another horse based in Newcastle with a fairy tale story, the first horse into the Everest.
He is Private Harry. Of course, he won his Group 1 here on Golden Slipper Day a couple of weeks ago. He's unbeaten. Was consideration given to going to TJ Smith? They've decided no, we'll spell him. Yulong have purchased a half share in the horse, and part of that deal, Tim, also secures Private Harry a start in Yulong's slot in the Everest. He's the first horse in the Everest come October.
That's a remarkable yarn, isn't it?
It is for a sprinter who's come out of nowhere, really. For Nathan Doyle, a young trainer from Newcastle, he's managed that horse brilliantly. He goes out to the paddock unbeaten with a Group 1 under his belt, a massive stud deal already. and a start in the Everest beckoning come October.
Private Harry just taking hold behind them, just easing back, got a bit of cover. A beautiful ride by Ash Morgan. 5 starts, 5 wins. Well, he is the real deal. There's no doubt about that.
Week 2 of the championships, huge day. Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
4 Group 1s overall, but the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, seriously, Tim, this will be a race for the ages. Today we've seen Dubai Honour, magnificent in the Tancred Stakes. I spoke to William Haggis. He is definitely going to run the horse in the QE against Via Sistina. We also saw Chaya Wolf win today. It's going to be a fascinating contest. There's others likely to line up, but Dubai Honour's freakish. He's had 3 starts in Australia now, 3 Group 1 wins. He has to come back from 2,400 to 2,000 metres, but when that name, William Haggis, is next to the horse's name, you can't rule anything out.
Hasn't he done amazing stuff here in Sydney? It's extraordinary.
I did the stats going into Saturday when we got washed out, unfortunately. He's had 10 winners from 19 runners, 6 at Group 1 level, at a strike rate of 52%, and he's improved on it today. So, and a lot of those horses win first up. It's incredible, his ability to travel a horse and to have them perform at their best. But he'll need to be at his best because Via Sistina's just in tremendous form. And there's improvement to come from Chaya Wolf, don't worry about that. An interesting point that Joe Pride made, he said he weighed 522 kilos today. Now, when he won the King Charles last spring, he weighed 480 kilos. Now, he'll never be that light again because he's an older, more mature horse, but Joe Pride said he'll get 5 or 10 kilos off his racing weight for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, so there's definite improvement to come from Chaya Wolf.
And of course there's 3 other Group 1s, including the Sydney Cup. Take us through those, through your eyes.
Yeah, the Sydney Cup's always a fascinating contest. I love 3,200 metre races. I wish there were more. The ATC Australian Oaks, it's going to be an incredible race this year. We saw Treasure the Moment today. How good is she, Tim? She's won 7 in a row. Treasure the Moment, a deserved favourite, the one to beat. But like a Lucy's there's so many others. It's a great race. And of course, the Queen of the Turf Stakes brings together the best mares. There's also a race at Group 2 level called the Arrowfield Sprint. We'll get to see Autumn Glow there. Might be her last run for Autumn. She's unbeaten, a potential superstar. So that's going to be a fascinating race day, day 2 of the championships.
You had the Ray Thomas crystal ball out. Would you say Autumn Glow will be in the Everest?
Yeah, look, I don't know if she's a 1,200 metre horse, Tim. I think she wins because of sheer class. I think a race like the King Charles would be ideal for her, but look, Chris Waller trains, he's got a nice and fresh. She won well first up in very fast time at Rose Hill. She'll go to the Arrowfield Sprint. If she wins that, the logical path you would think will be keep her fresh for the Everest. She is so good, she could do it, but I can't wait to see her at a mile weight for age. I think she'll be a superstar.
Finally, Ray, the championships and all the trophies, the Doncaster, it's been going on for so long. It's a wonderful time of year, isn't it?
It certainly is, and hopefully the weather keeps improving. Randwick's a magnificent track, a world-class track. The championships here is attracting horses from around the world. We've got a US Breeders' Cup winner contesting an Australian Group 1 for the first time ever. Some of the world's best jockeys are coming, Zach Burton, Ryan Moore, etc. It's just racing at its very, very best here.
Well, if there's one person you want to buy a meat tray ticket with...
Meat tray?
Yeah, meat tray.
Go on a lotto ticket.
Do whatever you want to buy,
Just
but
buy
it with Bjorn Baker, because Ray mentioned the Breeders' Cup winner that raced in the Doncaster last week, but it was another locally trained horse that got the chocolates, Julie.
Oh, it was indeed. And I'm so pleased that we could track this man down and that he's turned up, because I can only imagine the celebrations that went down. Bjorn Baker, welcome back to Racing Dreams.
Yeah, great to be back on, and it's the aptly named Racing Dreams. The Doncaster's a race as a trainer, and you dream about, and it came true last week. So I can't wait to get back out there today. I'm already ready to go. I've got the tie on, and looking forward to another big day. It's been a big week, and no, it's a great day here in Sydney.
You're always full of exuberance and energy and wonder, but we don't always see the emotional Bjorn Baker. You were last week because, as I mentioned, you've won, and as Jules mentioned, you've won a lot this year. But when you win a Doncaster, something so rich in history, so wonderful when you look at the landscape of Australian racing.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of Sydney's iconic races. I must say, when I watch that footage, I cringe a little bit, but there's a lot that goes into it. I've got a great team and very special for the connections, and I think Randwick's, if not the world's greatest track, it's my greatest track and one of the world's great tracks. And it was a special day, great weather, Sydney at its absolute best, which I'm sure it will be today. So, yeah, can't wait to get back out there. Of course, Steffi Magnetica, who won, she's backing up today in the Queen of the Turf, and she's probably going to have to be every bit as good as she was last week with Fangirl, a Tissue, and amongst others there as well.
Well, we'll just have a look at that Doncaster win from last week while we focus on the Queen of the Turf. Why the decision to go back for the Queen of the Turf this week?
Yeah, it's always a little bit tough, especially, I guess she's won her main target, but she's going to probably more than likely go for a good break after this weekend, and we can look at the spring, a race like the King George, possibly on Everest Day, up over a mile. She did run on the Everest last year, and it didn't quite go according to plan, so that's still half an option. But she's probably better around that 1,400 metre mile mark. And the other question mark is whether we wait for next week. There's another really good race, the All Age Stakes. So there's so many options for these really good horses. But I just thought we'll stick to Mare's grade. It's set weight and it works pretty good for her. And she's had a very easy week and looks to have come through the Doncaster in fantastic form. She doesn't probably look the best. She's not the biggest, and she's got a little bit of a winter coat. So she defied a few of the paddock pundits on last Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't judge a book by its cover sometimes, can you? And look, a horse that's a real stable favourite for you and has been so good, real war horse, Arapaho, starts in the Sydney Cup, former Tancred winner.
Yeah, and he's in great order. It's going to be a marvellous spectacle. 20 horses going over the 2 miles. It's another one of those iconic Sydney races and very special. But I thought he was very good last time in the Tancred. He did not have a lot of luck that day, and he's got a little bit of an awkward gait today. But he's had 2 runs at the 2 miles. He came 4th in this race 2 years ago, and I think he was 11th in the Melbourne Cup 2.5 years ago. So it's a little bit of a question whether the 2 miles suits, but I think he's going as well as ever, and I think he's in there with a legitimate each way chance.
And what about Imperial Force in the Arrowfield Sprint today?
Yeah, he's in great order. He's won, I've only had him this preparation. He's won 2 from 2, albeit in much lower grade. So he's really got to step up. But he had a trial last week and he could have gone a lot quicker. And his work on Tuesday was sensational. And this one at Wyong was a city race, but he really had to work. He was caught deep throughout, up on speed, and I thought it had, even though the margin was very small, I thought there was a lot of hidden merit there. So I think he's ready to go to a new peak for me today. He's going to need to, but I think he's going really well.
Some more good 2-year-old racing today within the law and the Percy Sykes.
Yeah, and it just shows you how 2 weeks in racing you can turn it around. Jason Collett was on her in the Golden Slipper, and it didn't go well that day. She had to be pulled up out of it after going through the fence, and thankfully she's A-OK. And then he was there last week winning on Steffi Magnetica. So he's back within the law, and she was super this day. She drew wide. She had to go back. She had to make a big run down the outside. But I think today from gate 4, she can sit a lot closer. There's 3 or 4 fillies up the top. There doesn't look to be too much between them, but she's very genuine. She looks great. She's got a great attitude, and I think she'll be very, right there in the finish.
And so special for Jason Collett last week as well. We saw his reactions post Doncaster, and he was just so overcome. He actually had nothing to say. He didn't know what to say, but it was so lovely to see and such a reward for him. Last week, so some sales. Were you out and about shopping for the next star of the stables?
Yeah, we were so straight into it. The next day after Doncaster, the Easter sales were on, and they broke all records. So The racing industry is in great health. Of course, this is at Warwick Farm where I train, so I was lucky enough to pick a few horses up. And always looking for new clients. BjornBakerRacing.com.au. I've got to do it, guys. It's my job. It's my job. But there's no better time to be involved. The stake money's huge. It's going to be a great day out there in Sydney at its absolute best at the moment. What a time to go to the races today.
I've had a couple of horses with you in the past, so you need to find me a champion. So
how was the party?
If it is your job, start working on that.
Yeah, I'll send you the invoice on Monday, Tim. I've got your emails to watch out.
I'm good to pay. You know, I always pay my bills. All right, buddy.
Yeah, very good.
All the best for day 2 of the Champs, mate.
Thanks, guys. Look forward to catching up out there. Thank you.
Thanks, Bjorn. We'll stay with us. Still to come on Racing Dreams, Peter Snowden previews today's Percy Sykes with star filly Memo. That and much more.
Memo winding up with a big run. It's Dreamside and Memo right down the outside. Oh, Memo fired today. Memo ran down Dreamside and Alabama Magic third. She's done it today, Memo. She's been a bit costly along the way, but she's always had the ability. And she's let down wide out in the hands of Kieran McAvoy, who's on fire in the 2-year-old races, going back to back. Memo paid 9, 10 and 280. Trained by Peter Snowden.
Great to have your company on Racing Dreams, and that was Memo winning the Magic Night Stakes, of course, a couple of weeks ago in the Percy Sykes today. And Peter Snowden, she's a good horse.
I hope so, Tim. We own a fair bit of it. My wife owns a fair bit, so that means a good meal or no meal. But she is a good filly. She's done a great job for us. She's been competitive everywhere with runner. Second the Magic Millions, Magic Night winner, and hopefully she can pick this box on Saturday. It's a good race. Good fillies win this race, so hopefully we can be part of that dream.
So we're ready to go for the Tab Golden Slipper over 1,200 metres. Mahuna in front from Wotan. Tempted as flashing home. Mahuna and Wotan, and Mahuna nose to Wotan. Mahuna gripping on, and then Wotan making this last lunge on the outside. Mahuna with the nose down and will win the Golden Slipper. Mahuna.
I'm sure you celebrated for Michael Freeman. He only trains down the road, but when you watched the filly win the Golden Slipper, you were thinking, oh, mine wasn't there.
I thought of it before the race. He was mouthing off about how good it's going to go, and I said, you know, if it wins, you're only in there because I let you in there. And went straight over. There's nothing there. Got nothing, but good on him. Good filly, won really well, and that's what racing's about. Luck of the day and getting a bit of luck, and yeah, dreams happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Racing dreams do. What about Memo for the Percy Sykes?
No, she's a good filly on her own right. She's looks a nice race for her. I didn't back her up after Slipper. It was a very, very hot day the week before, and it was just a bit taxing now that she's had a fair bit. She's been to the gym crack. She raced and everything. Magic Millions was a big ordeal. Just wanted to look after her and did the right thing by her, and hopefully we've done that by giving her an extra couple of weeks. And she trialled really well last Friday, and she's ready to go.
Yeah, it's a huge day on Saturday, of course, for Group 1s, and you've got some horses that you like?
Yeah, we've got a couple in the Sapphire Stakes. Both fillies in good form, Tashi and Coco Jambu. Both good fillies going well. Both off last start, really good runs, so they'll be competitive and always a good race.
So Maxie Whitby, look, you've had some wonderful horses over time. This week, good horse, but long shot.
Yeah, we had a little bit. This morning we were in the Oaks this weekend with Sun and Sand, and living on the Gold Coast is a bit appropriate. And we ran a very good fourth on Saturday. A little unlucky, but more importantly, race one, I had King of Pop that got bowled over in the slipper. We ran second. So that's a good horse. King of Pop, Farnham was the father.
Where do you think you'll take King of Pop now?
Out for 6 to 8 weeks. And that'll be a spring horse.
Really something to look forward to?
All being well. We bred it, so we're happy.
What about the Sydney Autumn? It's cracking, isn't it?
Well, it's our time of the year, mate, and we're just working on the Everest concept now, so we'll see what happens.
Is there a horse you like?
Absolutely.
Tell me which one.
I'm not telling nothing.
Because this Kaying Rising's already in this horse out of Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, now the Hong Kong Jockey Club's taking control of the whole process. Harry's gone, and there's another good horse swinging around too, the Hawks have got. So I don't know anything about it myself, but we'll just see what happens.
Riasa.
Not saying anything.
Good to talk to you, Max.
Good luck to you guys.
Oh, Maxi Whitby. Does Maxi Whitby go with the Hawks and Briasa?
Oh, that was
favourite for the All-Age Stakes. Wayne Hawks on the show next week.
And it just shows you Everest, it never sleeps. We're always thinking and talking about it.
365 days a year, Julie. From Racing New South Wales, and this is the man, he works as well.
Yeah.
Mark Brassel, how are you?
I'm good. I sort of... I heard Autumn Glow came out.
This is breaking news. It's just come through.
Yeah, Autumn Glow's come out with a minor temperature, so I got a major temperature because I think J-Mac's a good thing in the Nathan Berry medal, but there's 3 points lost. So anyway, we move on. I think he'll still win anyway.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Get to that a little later.
Yep.
We'll get to that a little later. All right, this is the long and the short of it, where we take you through our expert panel. Expert? Loosely termed.
But anyway, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a reasonable go. Okay, the long. Which way are you going to go? Which long?
I'm going...
Shado Cassidy. I asked him for a long shot this morning. He gave me a $2.
$2.50, yes.
There you go.
I'm going with Alabama State Race 2. You'll see it here with right back in the field. Red sleeves, white armbands, white cap. He just takes a while to pick up and go through his gears, but you watch him late. He finishes 8th, but really hit the line hard. This is a 1,200 metre race. The winner's Autumn Glow, by the way, so it's a pretty strong race. He goes to 1,400 today. He's had one start at the 1,400 for one win, and he's about $12. I think he's a beautiful each-way chance. Karen McAvoy. So you don't get much better than that.
I feel the same about Amelia's Jewel because I know Fangirl's a short price favourite for this race, the Queen of the Turf, one of the 4 Group 1s on day 2 of the championships. But Amelia's Jewel has done really well since coming across from Western Australia, trained by Annabelle Neasham and Rob Archibald, and won the Guy Walter in cracking fashion. Probably disappointed last run, but I think Amelia's Jewel is a really decent $13 each way hope. So Amelia's Jewel for me in the Queen of the Turf. Jules?
Oh, I've gone a bit of a Shane O'Cass here. I've gone Dubai Honour.
I had to double look at that. We might need to put some rules. When we come back for the Everest, we'll have to put some rules around the long and the short.
As my long, coming off this win in the Tancred, this is going to be an incredible field in the Queen Elizabeth today. He's paying $6. But I just think when William Haggis sets a task like this at hand, that can't be ignored. We'll be catching up with Team Haggis very, very soon, actually, for an update on Dubai Honour. But if we're going long, I'll go with Buckaroo for long.
Yeah, that's okay. Long. Well, that might even be a new segment: the short, the long, and the long. But I will go with Via Sistina for the short. I just think that this mare's been extraordinary. Was it 7 Group 1s since racing in Australia? Yeah. And just a mighty racehorse, and I just think that Via Sistina will get the job done. I know that Dubai Honour, has there been enough rain for Dubai Honour? That's probably the question mark. It's been fairly dry throughout the course of the week, and as you said before, there doesn't look like there's a lot of rain about today, so we're going to be racing on a reasonably good track. Soft 5, good 4 maybe. And I think Via Sistina will get the job done. Well,
my short today is Treasure the Moment in the Oaks, sticking with the short. The Yulong filly, gosh, she's in incredible form, chasing her 7th. She's on a 7-run winning streak, I should say, so chasing her 8th win. Proven at the distance. Have a look at this. Would like a bit more of a firmer track, I think, but $1.70 favourite. It's one within the
there you go. Put it in, take it out. Yeah, Dubai Honour probably wanted it a bit. I mean, it could still win, obviously.
Yeah, he's a little bit good horse, and William Haggis has
can't underestimate it.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And who's your short today?
Well, there you go, Tim. You have a look at that. The Nathan Berry medal. Yeah. I'm going with J-Mac.
The Nathan Berry medal, of course, we lost Nathan a number of years ago.
Yeah, 11.
Twin brother, 11 years ago, twin brother to Tommy. And we have had the Nathan Berry medal now for a decade.
Yeah, it's 12th running. Yeah.
It's a 12th running over a decade. And it's for the winningest jockey of the championships.
Championships races. So there were 5 the first day, 7 today. So it's races 3 to 9 inclusive. 3, 2, 1. I'm going with J-Mac. I absolutely thought he was a certainty earlier before Autumn Glow came out. There's 3 points gone, but I thought it was like Sterling, chickweed from Blind Chooks. He was an absolute certainty. So He still should win.
Let's have a look at the current tally for the Nathan Berry medal. Here we go here. So Tyler Schiller at the moment.
I have not heard that. Anyway,
Blind
I'm
Chooks.
going to add that to my book. There you go.
So Tyler Schiller and Jason Collett are both sitting on 5 points there. Timmy Clark on 4. Damien Lane, Mark Zara on 3. If we turn the page and have a look there.
No J-Mac.
No J-Mac.
Because he didn't race last week.
Because he didn't race last week.
He was in Dubai. But in saying that, he is on 4 favourites and 1 second favourite. So he only has to get 2 home early and he's hit the front straight away. So,
yeah, and then Via Sistina, Fangirl.
Well, brushes home with Fangirl. That's the last championships race. So he's on an odds honour in the last. So it's not going to pick up 3 points there.
So there it is, the Nathan Berry medal.
Got J-Mac written all over it.
Anything else? Another horse that you might just like somewhere that we haven't mentioned in transactions this morning? I'll pass that back to you. So I don't...
Tashi, I think, has got a real good
Pete
heart.
Snowden.
I watched her 3 the other day, sat 3 and 4 deep the entire trip, and she still kept coming, and she's $21.
He's a horse trainer, isn't he, Peter Snowden?
Peter Snowden, you interviewed him, yeah. Did he give you a little bit of a...
I mean, like a real horse trainer. He's real good. I love him. Every time you see him, he's just
so
one of the nicest guys, and he's done everything in the business.
Well, I'm heading out today, and if I'm standing near Bjorn Baker and Steffi's a bit of a hope, I'm going to put a crash helmet on because I think he's going to knock someone out one day.
Well, have a Villies pie for me. I'll talk to you next week.
For sure.
Thanks, Brass. Well, stay with us. We are live to Team Haggis as International Raid of Dubai Honour chases another Queen Elizabeth crown. There he is. We'll have all the details up next. Good morning. You are watching Racing Dreams. It's lovely to have your company. Well, Via Sistina will be very hard to beat in today's Queen Elizabeth, but we cannot discount a number of other chances. It's a great field, this one.
Of course, including the William Haggis trained Dubai Honour. Williams assistant trainer Izzy Paul joins us now. Good morning, Izzy. How are you and how's the big guy?
Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, we're all good here. I always get a bit nervous, but Dubai is in great form. Very happy with him and where he's at and how he's come out of the Tancred.
So let's talk about how he is. I saw you out with him track work this week as well. You're a woman who can do it all. But how did he pull up after that Tancred? And what have you made of the draw for today's race as well?
Look, the draw is not probably ideal, but at least, you know, we're not going to get kind of blocked in on the rail or anything stupid like that. And it gives Tom a little bit of leeway to do what he wants, whether that be kind of drop him in or slide up forward and make sure that it's a good pace. But no, he came out of the Tancred really well. He's just a horse that seems to kind of thrive off travelling and racing. And he was pretty cheeky when you guys were out here on Wednesday morning ducking out at the cameras, which for a 7-year-old gelding who's been to Hong Kong 4 times is pretty naughty, but it's usually a marker that he's in good form. So no, I'm happy with where he's at.
When you were on the phone walking the horse, were you talking to William?
Yeah.
He would have been very happy. I had the opportunity to talk to him up in Hong Kong a couple of weeks ago. You, him and the team, there's something about the Sydney Autumn, isn't there? It just suits.
Yeah, no, it all seems to work quite well, and I think we were very lucky to have Harry Eustace sort of trailblaze it, and he obviously did a phenomenal job the first year he was down here, and all the team at home just do an amazing job kind of getting them here, and it really takes a village to ensure that it all runs smoothly. But we seem to have it pretty much down to a T now, and hoping we can maybe get the job done again today.
Let's have a look at him in track work this week as well. Like you said, he does seem to thrive off travelling. I think this horse has more frequent flyers than the average Joe, that's for sure. Hong Kong, UK, France, Germany, Australia.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it, and I think he particularly loves it down here. He just always seems to perform, and he gets down here, and like we take bloods off them quite regularly, and his bloods always come back absolutely perfect, and his weight is always pretty stable down here, and everything like that. So he really seems to love Sydney in the autumn.
And he's a 7-year-old gelding, so he's still got a few good years left in him.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, and you know, sometimes as they get a bit older, they can get a bit sour and a bit harder to train, maybe a little bit ungenuine, but he's just not a horse that's ever done that, and he'd run through a brick wall for you, which is amazing. And I've not seen him run a race in the last sort of probably 18 months where he's not tried his heart out, which is really nice to see.
We've mentioned it all throughout the morning that Mr Haggis has broken Aussie hearts in this race on 3 previous occasions. Dubai Honour obviously winning the Queen Elizabeth in 2023, Adabe winning it as well. What is it about this race, and why is it something that William loves to target?
I think, you know, at this point it's becoming a bit of a tradition, but it's just having the right horses for the race, I think, and it's not great to break Aussie hearts, but it's great to get the job done, and hopefully, you know, even if we don't beat Via Sistina today, I'd like to see him put up a strong performance, and I think it could go close.
You warm the hearts of many Australians because they often will have some money on Dubai Honour because of the feats of William Haggis and the horse and the whole team. What about Canterbury and the quarantine setup out there? It really is good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we're sort of looking at the track behind me, and it's an absolutely beautiful place to train horses. And these old boys love getting out on the grass and kind of getting their toe into that every day. And you know, the guys out here look after us so well. Ross, who runs the quarantine, Greg, who's the track manager here, Kalina, his second. You know, they've become kind of like family, and yeah, I love coming down here. And like I was saying, you know, it really is a sort of a whole village scenario to get these horses here, and we're really, really well supported both at home and when we get down here as well.
I see this week that he's been dubbed Aussie Tom, but Tom Mark 1 has been back in the gym with Trent Langlands, looking absolutely on point. It must be just such a special time for you to all be out here together and to share in these experiences. Has there been a standout journey to date? Has there been a standout autumn for you in the 6 visits you've had here?
This has been a great trip. It was really fun to win the Tancred. And they're all kind of special for different reasons, and you know, it's always great to have Tom down here. Him and I are pretty close by this stage, and actually him and Trent came for dinner a couple of weeks ago to celebrate Tom's birthday, which was really, really nice. And it's actually quite a nice period where we all get a little bit more breathing space, because back home, you know, once we get home, you'll be racing nearly every day. Tom will be definitely racing every day across sort of England, France, Ireland and Germany and places like that. So you get a little breather down here in a funny sort of way, although it's quite full on. It's always great to come down. I think the year that Dubai Honour won the 2 races and the boss was obviously here for the Queen Elizabeth, that was pretty special, because that's the only autumn he's been down here. So to do it while he was here was pretty great as well.
I love where you guys live too. I had the opportunity to take our Racing Dream show to Newmarket, and that is a pretty special place, the only place in the world where horses have right of way. Izzy, good to chat. All the best today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, what a few weeks it is for training partners Annabelle Neasham and Rob Archibald. They get married the week after the All-Age Stakes. Just a little bit of happening. Yeah, there's a lot going on, isn't there? Today, their focus, of course, is day 2 of the championships. I caught up with Rob for Racing Dreams.
Amelia's Jewel's opened up now inside the 100 metres, and Amelia's Jewel pins the ears back for a big win in the Guy Walter Stakes. She
obviously excellent first up in the Guy Walter. A little bit not disappointing, but I think just under handicap conditions maybe didn't suit her in the Coolmore, and certainly confident she can bounce back and she'll be very competitive on Saturday in the Queen of the Turf.
What do you think of her?
She's a beautiful filly, great physical, just a lovely horse to train. So yeah, while she's been very generous in allowing us to train her, and we're pretty grateful, and hopefully we can just win a Group 1 with her on Saturday. It'd be really good.
Faulkner Park, not quite in the market, but a very good horse that's won some good races.
Yeah, he hasn't really been in the market all prep. I think he's going excellent. Got beaten by a length by Via Sistina last start, and I think that's very good form. So he's in excellent order. I think he's probably going as well as he's ever been going. So if he draws a nice gate, gets a good run, we expect him to be right there on Saturday.
That would be an amazing result.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it's obviously a hot field. You've got horses like Dubai Honour, Via Sistina, you know, these are world-class horses, and you know, but we just have a lot of confidence in our horse that he's going really well.
You and Annabelle got quite a large operation now right around the country, but you've got a few other chances in a couple of other races on Saturday in Sydney.
Yeah, in the Fernhill, we've got two nice fillies, Tupacar and Next Gen. They both ran really well last start, so yeah, happy with both of them, and it looks a nice race for them both, so hopefully we can try and win a little bit of black type.
Now, I was talking to John Camilleri a little earlier, of course, Sunshine in Paris. I love the name and I love her as a horse, and she's going to be in the All Age. That would be some kind of win.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so she heads the All Age next. She's had a pretty good preparation. Just a little bit below where we expected her to be on Saturday, so maybe up to the 1400 will suit in the All Age, but she looks fantastic. I feel like she's going well, so hopefully she can bounce back.
All Age Stakes Day, of course, is Saturday week. You're also getting married that weekend, so that would be some kind of wonderful if you got a win like that prior to.
It's a week after we get married.
Well,
so
very close.
A nice way to lead into that. Yeah, it certainly would be.
So the plans would be difficult when you're trying to organise the autumn.
Yes. Luckily, both our mothers are helping us out at the moment, so it's been good. Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. Lots to do before then, but it's a great time of year.
The Sydney autumn is just a really great time. We've got the sales on here.
It is, yeah. It's just great racing. The weather's fantastic, and it's just a great sort of industry to be involved in, and it's based on the sales here. It's healthier than ever.
And you bought a few?
Yeah, we bought a few yesterday, trying on a few today, so I'm really happy with what we've taken home. Hopefully they'll be at the championships in a few years.
What would you say is the best of them?
The best of them. Bought a lovely 2-done hot out of Negotiate from Arrowfield. I thought it was an outstanding colt. He's probably the headline of what we bought so far, but we bought a couple of others that we're really happy with also.
All right, Rob, all the best for the rest of the autumn, and congratulations on the impending marriage.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you.
Peter Credlin knows politics.
The world is more dangerous than it has been in decades. In Australia, we're facing real challenges of our own, and you know that better than anyone.
She is in your corner to make sure the politicians are held to account.
When Canberra tries to hide it, my job's to expose it. When they try and shout you down, I am your voice.
This election will decide Australia's future. Credlin, 6 p.m, Monday to Thursday.
The Star Championships.
And the gates are back. They're off and racing.
The grand finals of Australian racing. Witness the best of the best compete for over $25 million in prize money. Royal Randwick, April 12.
Costs are up. Bills are up. Inflation is consistently higher than other advanced economies, and we've had the biggest fall in living standards in the developed world. We can't afford 3 more years of Labor. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal, Canberra.
Is sitting too long on uncomfortable chairs making you feel stiff and sore? Introducing Soft Sitter, the amazing supportive and flexible gel cushion that's so soft and absorbs pressure so well, we even ask members of the public to sit on an egg without breaking it.
The Soft Sitter actually took my body weight plus an egg. It did not break. It really worked. That's unbelievable.
Now you can sit all day on the hardest chairs and still feel comfortable. Soft Sitter gives you the support you need. The secret is the clever elastomer construction and open honeycomb design that folds into itself. Soft Sitter evenly distributes weight to avoid pressure points, providing support for your back and spine. That's why this fragile egg won't break even under direct pressure. Soft Sitter is ideal for work, around home, or any place where you need back and spine support while sitting. It makes a great kneeling pad too. Regular seat cushions can be too soft to provide the all-day support your back needs and can have filling that traps in heat and moisture. But not Soft Sitter. The strong hexagonal construction provides stability for good posture and absorbs pressure points, whilst allowing air to freely circulate, keeping you cool, comfortable and supported all day. Lightweight and portable, just roll it up and take it with you for a comfy seat anywhere. Call Global Shop Direct or go online now to get Soft Sitter for this low price and check out our 5 easy monthly payments. You'll find countless uses for Soft Sitter, so we're going to double the offer. That's right, buy one and get one more. And for extra comfort, add a set of 2 black Soft Sitter covers to your order today. The fabric is breathable with a non-slip base for added stability. Get the comfort and support you need with Soft Sitter. Plus, they come with Global Shop Direct's 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't miss this fantastic offer. Order your Soft Sitters from Global Shop Direct today.
Great idea!
Global Shop Direct!
Oh, it is flying. It happens that way, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun,
When you're
Julie.
having
Racing dreams.
Nick Birdie from Sky Racing joins us now. Help us, Nick. Good morning to you. Day 2 of the championships.
Hello to you, Tim and Julie. I'm so excited today. I actually can't wait to get out there. I couldn't go last week, so after this I'll be straight into the car, straight on the fence to watch race 1. We'll get to that bet soon. But for Group 1s, Queen Elizabeth, the highlight of the Autumn Carnival, what more could you ask for with perfect weather?
Best bet for you?
Best bet, let's going to kick it off with Inkaruna. So we've got to go to race 4, and this is number 5. So Anthony and Sam Freedman. Now it's the horse all the way out the back there in the light blue colours and also the dark blue colours. And Tempted, the horse on the outside, just got the run on it this day. Now, Tempted arguably should have won the Golden Slipper. The horse back on the inside, Mahuna, should have won the Golden Slipper. I've shown this replay the last couple of weeks because this is one of the best 2-year-old form races. But in Karuna, she sprints such a sharp 400 to 200 metre split. But the big difference today is she draws inside. So she can settle a lot closer. And I think she can out-sprint Tempted, who's just been up for a long time. So pretty keen at Inkaruna around that $4 mark.
Ooh, all right. An artistic flair for your next best.
Yes, Michelangelo. Going to go. This is the horse I'm talking about. I'm very keen on Michelangelo. So this is a Chris Waller runner all the way out the back there. It's last today, last in this replay. It won't be last today. It's up to the 1,600 metres. I think it's been ready for the mile the whole way throughout its preparation. It's had that platform where it's just slowly increased. You can see there on the vision, it has no luck. It has to check back to the inside, can never build momentum. 2 starts ago at Newcastle, it was enormous with the bias against it. And then this day, it was very well backed late in the trade, so some smart money late. I think it's ready to go. Tommy Berry on, can settle that bit closer as well. Oh, really keen on Michelangelo. Hopefully we can get off to a good start of the day.
You found a bit of value in the Sydney Cup.
Circle of Fire, of course. We have to back this runner. We did last year, so it was 3 wide the trip this day. So this is the last year's Sydney Cup. I think it can back it up all again. So this was a fast pace, and what a staying performance this was. And he just profiles as the horse that has just been ticking over. And now this has been his grand final all the way through. So not to get too technical, but when you break this horse's sectionals down, so what he runs between the 600 to the 400, the 400 to the 200, and his final 200 metres, he just says now it's screaming for the 3,200 metres. Yes, tricky draw, but we've got Jason Collin on. He's in great form. He's going to need a little bit of luck, but that wide gate's been way too much factored into his price. Very keen on an each-way basis.
All right, and who is your feature race tip for today?
I can't get away from her. What she did 4th up last preparation, Via Sistina, she was so impressive in that Cox play. But this is her last start, and James McDonald just toyed with them this day. But the thing about her is she's been in slowly run races, and now you get Denial Knowledge, who will roll forward at a nice, genuine speed. She's got barrier 1. But the big thing is the 2,000 metre start. It starts on a bend, so James McDonald can just push out, find a lovely spot, conserve energy, and when the breaks come, you'll see the best horse in Australia just let down and just put them away. You might even get black odds about this runner, so maybe just keep your powder dry for the moment.
There are the graphics. They're the ones you need to write down. Inkaruna, Michelangelo, Circle of Fire, Via Sistina. If you get all those up, you might be having a free takeaway food tonight. Good on you, Nick.
If we get all those home, Tim, we're more than takeaway. I'm looking forward to today. Hopefully we can have a big, big day.
Yeah, fine dining.
Fine dining, fancy. Thank you very much, Nick, and thank you to our great sponsors at Racing New South Wales. I just tried to hold your hand.
Oh, that's okay. You can hold my hand anytime you like, Jules. We are friends. We are good friends. And this is Racing Dreams. This is the penultimate program. Of course, enjoy the day 2 of the championships. We'll see you next week.